Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some more Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. We last time had a big fight with Ciel. We also got injected with something. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of scary. Um, things are just weird right now, right? Things are strange. I honestly don't know if I just straight don't remember most of the plot of Ciel's route, because I in my mind, Ciel's route was 90% the same as Arquid's, except we got a little bit different stuff at the very end. Like, it felt like that. But I don't remember. It's been a while. Which is good for reaction content, I'll say that. And I'm like, I've had a few people say, like, are you playing up not remembering stuff? No, I don't play up anything. These are my raw reactions, so let's keep going. I still feel strangely depressed, even after school is over. There's no one else in the classroom. After-school club activities have been suspended because of the serial killer, so most students have gone home. Silence has retaken the school. Looks like Ciel is true to her word. There's not a single sign that she'll be coming.
いや、別に気にしてないし。
Okay, Mr. Tsundere Shiki. That doesn't really work out. I thought the same letter would work, but no.
単に休んでいただけだし。もうさっさと帰るからな。
I mumble to no one in particular. Oh.
メール
Huh. My phone goes off as I leave the classroom to go home. I take my phone out of my bag. Unexpectedly, the text is from Miss Noel. She shouldn't have this number. She really shouldn't. But she can easily get it. All it says is this. Okay. She's literally hitting us up with the my parents aren't home. Oh no. Are you free right now? There's something I want to show you. Don't tell CLK. Hurt. Attached is an address along with a screenshot of a map. Oh my god. Well, why not? I don't know what she wants, but it might take my mind off things. Buddy, there's a little subconscious Shiki in there who's like, bro, it's gonna happen. If I go back to the mansion like this, I'll probably just be depressed all night. Oh, so you want to get a little happy? Is that what you're saying? You want to go there and relieve some stress? Huh. Okay, I thought it was her apartment. The abandoned factory outside of town that shut down a few years back. This screenshot is crazy cool. Is that the sky or the moon? I can't tell. Administrative building, 4th floor. That's where the message said to meet.
ここでいいんだよな。
I'm standing in front of a fire escape. This is a pretty sketchy meeting place, but I know I've got the right address. I shove all doubts back down. It'd be stupid to leave now after coming all this way. Oh, buddy. Oh, no. He's thinking with his little Shiki. Might as well head up the stairs. If Miss Noel's not here, I'll just go home. Buddy, I begin to climb the rusted stairs, careful not to make a sound. With the whole building having been abandoned, the stairs are in disrepair.
これ崩れないだろうな。
I gingerly put one foot in front of the other. Then, I hear something moving. It can't be the sound of the wind.
今の足音。上からだな。
Huh. Sound gets louder the further up I go. Before long, I reach the 4th floor. Of course it's the 4th floor. Of course it's the 4th floor, buddy. What are you doing? An metal door stands before me. Don't think you need that in there, bucko. hand goes to the doorknob, which turns easily. It's unlocked. I hear the noise coming from within. It's like a weird jittering noise. I don't like it. I open the door and peer into the room. It's dark. I don't like this noise. Completely closed off from the outside. Naturally, there's no electricity, so all the lights are off. Am I gonna get jump scared? But deep inside, I see several flashes of light.
Noel 先生。
I call out before entering.
来てくれたのね、四季くん。ごめんなさい、迎えに行けなくて。とにかく入って入って。
Miss Noel's voice cuts through the darkness. I guess this was the right place after all. As I let go of the doorknob, the weight of the door causes it to close on its own. I squint my eyes in the dark. What was that? Before I even have a chance to wonder what's in the room, I instinctively cover my nose. A familiar stench assails my nostrils. What am I looking at? The sticky floor squelches under my feet. I slip my knife into my sleeve for easy access and proceed toward the back of the room. And there I see two vampires, each gagged and bound to a chair, their bodies twitching and convulsing. Oh no! Those two are the source of the stench. Oh! The noise I heard came from them smashing their heels against the floor in an attempt to ease their suffering. Oh! Their feet are sizzling, scorched by the light enclosing the chairs. Foam flows out from their gags and drips down their chins, an involuntary response to the pain of being burned alive. How long have they been roasting like this? The muscles around their throats are so taut from constant screaming that bone is showing through. Oh my god! Their writhing bodies are covered in blood. It pours out of wounds not only sustained from struggling against their bonds, but carved into them by a variety of instruments.
こっちよ、四季くん。シエルさんには内緒にしてくれた？
I'd rather you groom me, honestly. Like, that's the better of two things. It's still morally wrong, but like, at least it's understandable. Blood and flesh splatter the floor and walls. The air in this room feels just like it did in those passages under the department store. In the middle of it all is Noel, smiling from ear to ear as she looks down at the two men tied to the chairs.
Noel 先生。
The thought of even asking what this is makes me sick. Instead, I implore the woman in front of me to explain through my gaze alone.
わからない？四季くんには何度も助けられたし、いい機会だから私たちのお仕事を見せてあげようと思って。それにほら、この子たちのこと覚えてる？
Are these the two that put us down in the thing? She didn't even have to ask. I recognized them right away. The two tied to the chairs are the same two that led me below the department store. I mean, they were pretty bad guys, but I still think this is a bit much.
そういうこと。私だけで始末してもいいんだけど、あなたもこいつらには貸しがあるでしょ？だから仕返しさせてあげようと思って。はーい、お待ちかねの懺悔タイムよ、君たち。もう誰もやってこないし、防音は完璧だし、無粋なおしゃぶりは取っちゃいましょうね。
That's even grosser. Do they have like full knives in their throats? Is that what we're getting at? Full black keys or something? No, just a regular gag? Okay. See, I was expecting it to be like just a full, horrible thing. She takes the gag off of one of the vampires. The vampire makes a wet, guttural noise, like a clogged pipe spewing water. It coughs violently as it spits up the saliva and blood that was trapped in its mouth, and looks up at its captor. Its eyes are filled with neither hate nor bloodlust. Such defiance was a glimmer of hope that faded many hours ago.
やだ。やだ。やなんです。 死にたくない。死にたくない。せっかく不死身になったのに、こんなところで死にたくない。
Dang, bro is miserable.
もうやめてください。許してください。助けてください。こんなのってないです。いくらなんでもあんまりです。俺たちだって被害者なんです。
Okay, I disagree with the fact you're victims too. I do agree that this is too far. It's nothing but a miserable wretch now. So weak, so fragile, it's barely one step away from death. It begs for mercy with its every fiber of its being, prays desperately for life. Humans have a tendency to sympathize with the weak no matter what the situation. They also possess the intelligence to judge the present independently of the past. The treatment of criminals is one example of this. No matter how great the atrocity committed, a powerless prisoner may be granted a chance of forgiveness and a new life, unless you are black in America and caught with weed. Sorry, that's the rules. Sucks. It really sucks. One day we'll be free of that, but it's not gonna appear in my lifetime, unfortunately. Denying them this mercy or allowing it as an act of human kindness is a right that belongs solely to the victims. I didn't even click, the screen just turned fully red on its own. This woman has no mercy. After listening to the weakling beg for its life, she begins her meticulous work, torturing it in accordance with the number of its pleas. She starts from the fingers, moving to the wrist, then the elbow, and finally the shoulder before switching sides. Once its other arm is gone too, she swaps out her tools and sets to work on its insides. No longer interested in cutting and crushing, she takes up tools for stabbing and burning. It's as though she's cooking. You can't use that phrase, that's been ruined. I'm not gonna say hold up, let her cook. I'm not. She's like a chef filleting a live fish, only with entirely different techniques and principles, and also it's not a fish. She's not a chef. A chef employs a measured technique to cut the fish without killing it. What? Based on the principle that it should be kept as fresh as possible. What? What do you mean? What? Oh, right. No, right, we learned about this before. The idea of eating the fish when it's like so fresh, it's basically alive. Yeah, that's messed up. No, kill it for me. You can kill it and it'll be dead for like a week or something and I'll eat it. That's fine. But not this woman. For one thing, she has no technique to speak of. The only reason her catch is still alive is because of its natural tenacity. Though it could be argued that she is driven by a certain culinary principle. That is, the goal of savoring her meal. She is processing it alive, leaving its vocal organs intact to the very end, just so she can savor its every scream. What is she even doing? What is she even doing? The screams stop before long. Not because it has died, but because its body no longer occupies the chair. The woman has taken the vampire's body apart piece by piece, leaving only its head alive. She stuffs all of its part into a 50-centimeter square box and shuts the lid. 50 centimeter? Are you out of your mind? How in God's name do you fit an entire body in 50 centimeters? That's... I mean, I guess that's what it is. It's so disgustingly cruel that it's, you know... a lot of squishing! The other vampire's face is twisted. Oh, of course, yeah, he watched it from beginning to end, of course. Or rather, having been forced to watch it all, their eyelids have been removed, making it impossible for them to avert their gaze. I'm trying to even imagine, how do you remove eyelids? How does that work? Like, because I'm thinking about, like, the way the eyelid is on it, and I'm, like, rubbing my eyelid right now to sort of feel it. Like, that's, like, to fully remove that, you have to, like, rip off a huge chunk of flesh. That's horrible. Oh, that's horrible. Gusts of wind steeped in blood howl through the room. I almost said womb. That'd be even grosser. A desperate scream, no doubt a plea for life, spills out of an opening in its gag.
どう？この海底の吸血鬼に痛覚はないんだけど、特別にこいつらにも通じる道具でバラバラにしてあげてるの。たった1日の審問時間しかないんだもの。これぐらいはやらないとこの子たちに騙されて殺された人たちの無念は晴らせないでしょ。
Oh no! Your idea of justice is hella skewed! The woman takes her eyes off the vampire and approaches me, her every step accompanied by a squish. In her hand, she holds an antique tool resembling a coping saw? Coping saw? What the frick is a... I'm googling this. What is a coping saw? Coping saw? What is that? Coping saw. A coping saw is a type of bow saw used to cut intricate external shapes and interior cutouts in woodworking and carpentry. Oh, yeah, it's one of those... Okay. It's one of those things where it's like you have the handle, then you have like the big piece of metal that kind of goes all in like a big U shape, and then a very thin little piece in the middle of it. Yeah, I've used one of these before. I didn't know that's called a coping saw. I don't know what I would have called it. Probably just a wood saw.
さあ、四季君もどうぞ。
Can I say no and you can just groom me instead? That seems like the better of the two things right now.
これは洗礼済みの器具だから素人が使っても効能は発揮されるわ。切れ味は悪いけどその分頑丈で吸血鬼は触れた箇所から焼かれていくから返り血も出ない優れものよ。
Cool. It's a lightsaber. Got it.
お、いきなり首を切るのも悪くないけど初めはやっぱり小指からの方が簡単だからできるだけ苦しめて殺しちゃって。
Okay, I've fully accepted I can't fix her. She offers me the saw. Unless they do a thing where it's like, well, actually, her vampire bite, gave her these tendencies. And in the other routes, if she doesn't get bit, she's not like this. If that's the case, maybe. Not in this timeline. Oh my god. And I hate that, like, I see this choice. Sorry, time to meet Miss Noel. Shut up. Okay. I see this choice and I'm like, I want to do this because I want to see what he does, right? Like, this is not the answer I'd pick, but it's the one I'm most interested in. I guess we're gonna pursue poetic justice.
何？やっぱりシエルさんと学生ごっこやってる四季君には荷が重い？
She derides me and eggs me on in one breath. Anyway.
いいですけど。
Oh. Oh, wait, was this a test? What? My own indifference catches me off guard.
そう？その割には嫌そうな顔してるけど。
What are you playing at?
面倒事なんだから。
I walk towards the chair to which the once human creature is bound.
糸の子。
I almost said forceps and held back the urge to play surgeon.
はい、どうぞ。やり方わかる？教えてあげましょうか？
Are we gonna... Oh my god, are we going to touch the barrier and us have a memento? Are we gonna burn?
先生のやり方は見ていました。最終的にその箱に入れればいいんですよね。
Oh my god, we're doing it. The eyeballs desperately looking up at me could pop out of their sockets at any moment, praying to be saved, begging for mercy. On the verge of exploding, they plead with me, shedding tears as they swear to do whatever I ask. I understand that feeling given the situation. That same look was all over the place in that morgue beneath the department store. They knew no rescue would come. They knew they would never be human again. Yet for as long as their intelligence remained, they continued to look for a hope that didn't exist. But anyway, I wonder if this thing remembers my face.
やっぱりこれじゃうまくないな。
I drop the saw to the floor. The creature's pupils shrink as if a light has been shone upon them.
あなた。
だって時間の無駄でしょ。
I take off my glasses and draw my knife. I glide my knife smoothly through the neck of the being bound to the chair. Retribution, requiem, condemnation. It all seems so unnecessary. Acting in response to the past is far too human. If one decides to kill, then one should simply kill. Unlike this woman, I don't have such energy to spare. To think about that future, I must be detached from the present. I hear the woman's breath coming from behind me. At first it was filled with revulsion towards my work, but that has been replaced by admiration.
不詳不詳だったのは道具に不満があったからです。先生の趣味に文句があったわけじゃない。
Oh no. What is happening? More precisely, I don't have much of an opinion on it.
あとはこれをしまえばいいんですよね。先生、やってくれますか？
やるやる、任せて。
Oh my god, as soon as she recognizes what, the level we're at, she immediately becomes subservient, right? Immediately. As soon as someone shows any amount of power over her, she immediately falters. Wow.
うわ、何これすごい。頭蓋骨そのままなのに脳丸ごと出てる。うわ、心臓止まってるのになんでまだ脳生きてるの？
I wonder if he should consider himself lucky or unlucky that I didn't see any lines on his brain.
じゃあ、俺はこれで。
待って待って、下にシャワーあるから使って汚れ取っていって。私もここ片付けたらすぐ行くから。
Oh, you're going to jump him. Perhaps it's because I was too efficient, but the malice in her has dissipated. She's gone back to the woman I know as Noel. But I must say, when all is said and done, that wasn't such a bad experience. What the frick? Are we back? Are we back in back? Oh, we're back. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna save here, but what if we don't? What's the difference? Because this one I'm curious about. What happens if we don't, right? What if we say no? Want no part in the senseless deed.
とてもじゃないが付き合えない。
Wait, did you just slap her? Oh, I pushed the woman's hand away. The force behind my hand is unexpectedly strong, propelled by my revulsion towards her.
へえ、何？悪趣味ってどのあたりが？もしかしてスプラッタすぎた？でも、その割には落ち着いてるわよね、四季くん。普通に生きてきた人間なら、この部屋に入っただけでも大友なのに。さっきからこいつらじゃなくて、私にしか注意を払ってないし。趣味がおかしいのは私だけじゃないと思うけど。それとも、性癖がバレないように、いい子ちゃんぶってるとか？
Oh, hey, yeah, there's that. I stopped myself from letting her taunt provoke me. I don't pretend to be a good person. What disgusts me about this is that the results don't justify the effort.
殺すのなら無駄なく殺すべきだ。俺は人間を襲う吸血鬼を殺したいだけで、いたぶりたいわけじゃない。
はあ？人間を襲う吸血鬼を殺したい？
Huh.
バックじゃないの？それがいい子ちゃんぶってるっていうのよ。吸血鬼は何であれ殺すの、死ぬの。考えられる限りの傷を重ねて 自分からもう殺してくださいって懇願するまで苦しめるものなんだってば。
Oh, you are broken. Her gaze remains fixed on me as she casually throws a weapon at the chair behind her. The weapon pierces the vampire through the groin. Oh, not the pee-pee! Its muted anguish reverberates through the concrete. Foam bubbles around its mouth like a pot boiling over.
さあ殺して。相手は何もできない生肉よ。あなたが今まで殺してきた死者より簡単な作業でしょ。違うのはあれは人間らしい知性があって人間らしい悲鳴を上げて人間らしい生活をしてたってことだけじゃない。
Ma'am, do you hear the words you're saying?
人の痛みがわかる相手なら人間の痛みを味わってから無残に落ちぬべきなのよ。
There is hatred in her eyes. It isn't directed at the vampire, but at me for not taking the saw. Noel's rancor is a response to my disapproval of her methods and to her own weakness, and nearly letting herself be swayed by me.
じゃあどうするの。もしこいつがもう人間は襲わないなんて誓ったら見逃してあげるの。生かしてあげるの。信じられない。こいつらが何人罪もない人間を餌食にしてきたと思ってるの。こいつらは怪物なのよ。なのにただ人間っぽいって理由だけで人間扱いしてやるの君は。
I can't deny it. The man in front of me absolutely did try to kill me. Who knows how many people he killed in the same way. But that's not the issue at hand. What this woman is saying is, those who become vampires must not be allowed to live. They have no human rights. Whatever they may be, they have lost the right to exist. That kind of thinking is not something I can agree with. I may not be able to avoid killing in self-defense if I cross paths with a vampire who feeds on humans or a walking natural disaster like Vlav. But if I come upon a vampire who doesn't attack people and wishes to live like a human, I see no reason to kill it. Going that far isn't just in me.
ああ、そうわかったわよ。私がやるわよ。こんな国でのんきに生きてる君に期待しちゃった私が間抜けってわけね。せめてそこで見張り役でもやっといて。かかしみたいに突っ立ってこいつらの末路をよーく覚えておくがいいわ。
The woman turns her back to me and walks towards the vampire tied to the chair. She takes off its gag.
助けてください。助けてください。
Heart-wrenching pleas spill out of the creature's mouth. Maybe it really would swear to change its ways. It might atone for its sins if it and so could escape this nightmare of being... Can we not say the word tortured? Mutilated? What's wrong with that? By the woman standing before it. Eviscerated? I don't know. Like a man whose hands are tainted by countless sins suddenly awakening to Father's love. To the Father's love and becoming a devout believer.
ダメ。あなたは死ぬの。というか死ぬの。死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの死ぬの。
Once again, this is just something that just works better in Japanese. I don't think it works well in English. The dissection begins. Ear-splitting screams fill the air. The woman's work grows more intense by the minute. The first vampire had it easier. Once handling it with care, she now brandishes her tool wildly. Her meticulous dissection has become a brutal dismemberment. The vitriol flying from her mouth makes it impossible to tell which of the two is the devil. Oh my god.
跡形もなく殺してやる。死ね死ね死ね死ね。早く死ね、今すぐ死ね、最後まで苦しめ、限界まで助けを食え。吸血鬼も吸血鬼のなり損ないも吸血鬼になるやつもみんな汚らわしいウジ虫と同じなんだから。
Oh my god.
ねえ、そうでしょ。私の言っていることわかるわよね、四季君。吸血鬼になった者は速やかに死ぬべきなの。こいつらはゴミ以下なの、病原菌なの。 ただそこにいるだけで汚物を垂れ流す害悪なのよ。
She picks up an iron weapon sitting in the corner of the room. This has gone beyond dissection, beyond even torture. The halberd, nearly 2 meters long, scrapes against the walls and ceiling as the woman raises it and brings it down on the vampire. Bone and flesh is crushed with a dull thump. The vampire's body is flattened along with the chair. This savage act disintegrates the chains that bound its arms to the chair and sends the sword stuck into the floor flying. Now free, the vampire's upper half begins to frantically crawl away.
ほら見てよこのありさま、ゴキブリみたい。こんなになってもこいつらは死なないの。気持ち悪い気持ち悪い気持ち悪い気持ち悪い。こんなの生きてる価値もない。
It's amazing that the option of us killing him is the humane one at this point, right? With that, the second dissection comes to an end. The second body won't go into the box. There's no point in even trying to stuff it in. It's been crushed beyond all recognition. The woman looks down, her back to me.
ほら、やっぱり私の方が正しいじゃない。吸血鬼は害悪なんだって。だから、ね、もし自分がそうなんだって分かったときは、死んで。
Oh.
自分から死んで。
Oh, she literally said it.
間もなく泣き叫びながら、死にたくないって謝りながら、首をかっきって。
She hit us with the low tier god, huh?
それができないなら、糞尿を漏らしながらひざまずいて、何度も何度も命乞いをした後、私に首を差し出して。
What the hell? Oh my god, I need a screen cap of this. This is going into my fighting games folder of things to post to my friends when they keep throwing me in Skullgirls. The woman spews venom with eyes clouded over. The halberd drops to the floor with a clang. She takes a deep breath. Her shoulders, which were just rising and falling violently, grow still.
なんて、ちょっとどかしすぎちゃった？
Oh my god.
四季君たら危機感が薄いから、お姉さんついやりすぎちゃった。
You might be the worst person. You might be the worst person. It's crazy. I actually think, I'm gonna be real. Is she actually Mato Shinji tier? She might be. She actually might be. It does depend on how everything lands, right? If this is that she is afflicted and that's what's causing her to be like this, then okay, right? We can get past that. If this is actually her default state, oh my god, you might be Femme Shinji, which, I mean, you also do sexual assault, so you're oh my god. Oh my god. She's like a completely different person, like the evil spirit possessing her left. And the Miss Noel I know has returned. Wait. Okay. I want... Let's go back to the timeline of things being a bit less terrible. Okay. Let's go back to the timeline of where we did it just to make him not suffer. We leave the building and go down to the sunlit alleyway. The moment I breathe in the outside air, I feel my normal self return. My feelings had turned to ice in there. I'm still not quite sure why. Maybe the air inside the factory shut off my ability to reason like a decent person.
使徒と戦うってことがどんなことなのか、ちゃんと教えておこうと思って。ほら、保健室で四季君、シエルさんの意見に文句がありそうだったから。 それでピンときたの。あなたは私と同じで吸血鬼から町を守りたい人なんだって。
I really don't think we're the same. I really don't.
ならお互いの心情は知っておくべきじゃない？
Protecting the town from vampires. I have no objections to that, though I'm not sure where it falls on her list of priorities. But her excessive methods, which I just took part in, give me pause.
俺の心情は単純ですよ。知ってしまったから無視できないし、先輩の助けになりたいだけです。それよりノエル先生は反対しないんですか？シエル先輩は
Oh, she's gonna
一般
say,
人は吸血鬼には関
she's
わ
gonna
らせないって
say,
言いました。
buddy, you're not normal.
なんで？吸血鬼を殺すのはいいことだし、特別な力があるのなら人々のために使うべきでしょ？教会の代行者だからとか、普通の男子生徒だからとか、そんなの関係ないわ。私は四季君の勇気に拍手を送りたい気分だけど。
She's completely on board with looping me into their affairs. I thought the same thing back in the nurse's office, but two of them seem to be at odds. Ciel tells me not to fight. Miss Noel tells me that I should. It's a good image. I'm starting to feel like I owe Ciel an apology. Comparing their opinions side by side, it's easy to see who's acting out of a humane concern for my well-being.
それにしてもシエルさんにも困ったものね。事態を一日でも早く収束させることが最善の手段なのに、四季君の協力を拒んだり、優先度の低い調査を始めたり、気が緩んでるんじゃないかしら。
No priority investigation. Also, this looks almost identical to the alley we met Arcuit in the original Tsukihime. Wow.
ま、それも演技なんでしょうけど、あの冷酷な悪魔がたった数日で変わるはずがないんだし。
冷酷ってシエル先輩のどこが？
I'm curious about what she said, of course, but the way she's acting has caught my attention too. It's just a hunch, but I feel like there's truth hidden in her mumbling.
ほら分かってない。あの子が誰にも優しい底抜けの善人だとでも思っていたんでしょ？ほんとバカらしい。あれはただの掃除屋で、人間らしい感情なんてありっこないの。いい意識くん。あの子の笑顔は全部作り物だから。
Is it any more of a lie than yours?
その方が仕事を進めやすいからそうしてるだけで。君だって騙されているだけなのよ。
My body lurches forward unconsciously, but I can't refute her words. How can I defend Ciel when I just picked a fight with her earlier today?
あら、思うところがあったみたいね。君もうすうす感づいてたってこと？ふーん。ちょっと脅かして様子を見るだけだったけど、そういうことなら私も踏み込んであげる。四季くん、シエルさんのことを知りたいんでしょ？
I don't even remember who we learned it from in the original.
あの子がどんな人間なのか、どうせあの子は話さないだろうから、特別に私が教えてあげる。
There's a hint of malice in Miss Noel's smile. A hint, you say? Okay. Warning sirens go off in my head, telling me this isn't something I should listen to, fighting against this impulse to know more about Ciel. But I can't resist. Seeming to enjoy the conflict she sees raging inside me, Miss Noel begins to tell me about Ciel's past.
私たち代行者は二人一組が基本だけど、狩りの成功率は高くない。大抵どちらかが死ぬか、両方とも殺されて終わりって世界よ。
That sounds like there'll be no executors in no time.
もし10年以上代行者をやってるやつがいたら、そいつはそれだけで立派な異常者として扱われる。心が壊れているか、 とっくに吸血鬼化しているのに隠しているとか、まあいろいろ陰口言われるわけ。そんなひどい職場であの子は何体もの吸血鬼を殺してきた。どんなにひどい使徒が相手でも生き残る。どんなにずる賢い使徒が相手でも正体を突き止める。成功率は実に 100%。 ほとんど奇跡よ、こんなの。あの子が鬼子の扱いじゃなきゃ聖女認定されてるくらい。
I love that sentence. If she wasn't seen as demonic, she'd be recognized as a saint. Frick, that's strong. When dealing with, like, that's the only way you can really think about it when you're dealing with, like, fighters from the church, right?
まあ、それができたのはほんと単純な理由なんだけど、
Okay.
それはまた後で話すとしましょう。
We're still avoiding that thing, huh? Okay.
大公社シエルの名前は使徒たちにも知れ渡ってる。13歳で大公社になった吸血鬼狩りのエリート。大公社になってからもひたすら使徒を殺し続けて、ついには埋葬機関にまでスカウトされた。吸血鬼を殺すためだけに生きてるマシン。
Interesting.
君も見たでしょ？ブローブなんて怪物と渡り合っていたもう一人のモンスターの姿を。
I feel compelled to deny what she's saying, but I can't stop the story here. And strangely, although Miss Noel's describing Ciel as a monster, her voice doesn't sound condescending. If anything, it's filled with reverence.
ああ、埋葬機関っていうのは私たちにとってそうね、教会の中の治外法権。権力に近寄れない代わりに権力に縛られない動く武器庫みたいなものと思って。
It's so strange that the burial agency is just straight up not a part of the church, technically. Like, I get it, but I also don't.
ごく少数で組織された公安警察みたいな。
I wonder why the choice to keep it out of it is.
埋葬機関は他の秘跡会と連携を取る局長とその局長に管理される7人の代行者で構成されている。
There's only 7? Oh, it is an elite bunch.
本当は予備の代行者がもう一人いて、実践要員は8人いるらしいんだけど、大司教から自由行動の特権を許されたのは7人だけ。それ以上増やすのは危険と判断されたのね。
Huh. I thought there was more at a given moment.
局長ナルバレックを筆頭に集まった。
Okay,
そ
Nabarek
れ
is
ぞ
the
れが
agency
一つの
chief.
秘跡
Right,
会
right,
に匹
right.
敵する聖人のなり損ない。
Who apparently was brought up in both the manga and the original visual novel. I didn't remember them. Have we seen them? I'm slightly scared to Google them. I am gonna do it, but I'm gonna just go to like images. Narbarek. Have we ever seen them? Okay. Yeah, they look like a white-haired, like white hair lady. Okay. She's kind of cool. Okay. Cool. Okay. I've never seen her.
枢機卿ノイセオナトール・グランファテマ。
Gran Fatima. Okay.
司祭アンドレイ・ゴッド・ビバーク。
God Bivak. Okay.
シスターキアラ・キッショーイン。
Hold up. What? Okay, I gotta get back to CCC. I know I've been holding it off because I've been playing this, but like, what? And I feel like at one point I've seen the name Kiara Kisyoin, and I was like, do you mean Sesyoin? But like, I've never got an answer. That's interesting.
エクソシストミスター・ダウン。
Mr. Dawn. That sounds like a cleaning agent.
5人目は知らないけど6人目が大公社アーガレオン。
Okay, so Grand Fatima sounds familiar. God Bivak? Don't know. Mr. Don? I don't know. Don't know the fifth. The sixth is
そして
Argaleon.
最後が私たちの知っているあの子。弓の称号を贈られた第7位。大公社シエルってこと。あの子は殺したわよ。私なんか比べ物にならないぐらい殺してきた。相手が女子供でも容赦なく殺してきた。
Dang. Is that a reference to Star Wars Episode 1?
大公社
Or
にな
2?
ってか
I
ら
think it's Episode 2.
吸血鬼狩りをしてない日はないんじゃないかってぐらいに。1日、1週間、1ヶ月。何の不平も不満もなく、あの子は淡々と仕事をこなしてきた。私が聞いた中で一番長かったのは、たった一人の使徒を殺すために1年間その町の下水路に潜伏していたって話。
She must have been very stinky after that.
その人は町そのものを監視できる異能があって、部外者や異常に敏感な人だった。で、あの子が選んだ手段は排水溝からの侵入と潜伏。下水路すら使徒にとっては血管みたいなものだったけど、その血管の中を流れる汚物にまでは感覚が届かなかったのね。
So are you implying she lived in poop?
秘跡も魔術も使えば感知される状況だったから、あの子は黒剣のエオインに飲み込んで下水に入っていった。
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
この国の整備された下水じゃない。汚物で詰まったヨーロッパの下水路で体を汚水に浸して顔だけを水面に出してギリギリの呼吸をして、ただ機会を待ち続ける1年間。
Okay, Shiki, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I could kiss a girl who was in a year's worth of European poopy water. Like, maybe if it was like Japanese poopy water, that'd be one thing, but European? Oh my god, dude.
ほんと、想像するだけで寒気がする。この件ばっかりは吸血鬼に同情するわ。
Right? That's gross.
町を完全に支配下に置いて、やってきた大公社も全員殺して、ようやく自由に闊歩できると安心しきった人が広場に踏み出した瞬間、下水溝の網の下から一撃で即死よ。
That's crazy. I
ヘビ
almost
だっ
don't
てあ
even
の子の
believe
執
that.
念深さには尻尾を巻くわ。
That's like actually too crazy to even consider.
私と組むまであの子はずっとそんな調子だった。わかる？吸血鬼を殺すことだけに特化した非人間。
That's... Man. I'm just like... I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about the poop water.
それがシエルなの。私たちと同じ。
I thought we were just
普通
gonna
の
talk
人
about
間
like
だ
her
なんて
past
思わ
and
な
her
い方が身の
powers.
ためよ。
I had my suspicions, but Ciel's past is beyond what I could have imagined. It's natural that Arcuit hates Ciel, and that Ciel sees Arcuit as her enemy. But even so, I can't think of her as someone whose sole purpose is to kill vampires.
先輩のことは分かりました。でもノエル先生は、先生も大公社なら先輩と同じなんですか？
私が？冗談やめて。あんなのと一緒にしないで。私はいたって普通の人間よ。あんな風に周りを騙せないし、割り切ることだってできない。
Did you see what you did today?
そもそも大公社としての才能がなかったの、私。修道院に3年入ってやっと半人前だった。それでも人並みには頭が回ったから、司祭様に取り入って2年かけてやっと大公社になったの。それから2年ぐらい経った後かな、あの子と知り合ったのは。
When you say brown nosing, are you literal about this? Were you... Okay.
あの子は埋葬期間に入ったばかりで相棒がいなかった。私は頼りになる相棒が欲しかった。
To be fair, if you want someone dependable, the person with a 100% win rate is a good idea.
ほら、あとはわかるでしょ。同郷のよしみもあったし、
Oh.
私たちは晴れてチーム成立。それから5年、あの子の活躍のおかげで私はまだ生き延びてる。
I didn't know you were from the same town. The more interesting thing is, I want Shiki to be like, these years don't add up. Here we go. Hold up. Stop right there. I heard a few questionable things throughout her story, but this set my alarm bells ringing. Did she just say 5 years?
ちょっと待ってください。先輩と5年も一緒だったんですか？
そう言ったつもりだけど、私たち5年来の師弟関係だもの。
でも、それじゃ。
How do I put this?
年齢が合わないでしょ。当然よ。あの人、あの時から年を取ってないの。
I plant my feet firmly, fighting the urge to pass out from shock. Yet again, another groomer has entered Shiki Tono's life. She hasn't changed in 5 years. I can't tell if that's the truth or a lie. I can't even tell about the 5 years. What about the 5 years has me so dumbfounded?
そんな。それじゃあ、まるで。
そう。吸血鬼と同じよね。でもあの子は吸血鬼とは違う。だって完全な不老不死なんだもの。
Cool. Thanks for just spoiling it. My breath catches in my throat. True immortality? That's insane. Miss Noel has to be lying. Not even vampires have been able to achieve that.
いいえ。あの子は本当に何をやっても死なないのよ。殺しても蘇る。体が燃え尽きて灰になっても元通りになっている。何が起きてもあの姿のまま生き続ける。あの子はね、分類的には吸血鬼なのよ。私たちと違って一つの命にすがっていない。だから死を怖がらず、目的を達成するまで永遠に走り続ける。
I'm very happy I can stop pussyfooting around the idea that she will never die.
成功率 100% の理由ってこういうこと。簡単でしょ？あの子に狙われた吸血鬼はもう絶対に逃げられないんだから。
Literally, I'm just more immortal than you.
じゃあ、ノエル先生とシエル先輩は？
そう。私が弟子で、彼女が師匠よ。さっきのやり方だってあの人の真似事。いえ、あの人の手札はもっと凄惨かな。
Oh, is this meant to be a plot twist? That she's the disciple and you're the disciple and she's the master? Maybe it's just because I knew. I had the preconceived notion. Like, I knew that that was going to be the case. Okay. Okay, was the game trying to set it up to be like they never say who's the master and who's the disciple? Oh. Well.
あの人、大抵の拷問は体験済みだから。やられるのもやるのも、寒気がするほど上手なのよ。分かってくれた？代行者シエルは、吸血鬼と同じ化け物なんだって。
Well, lucky for you, I already bagged a monster in another timeline.
人のことを何とも思っていない殺戮者。でも吸血鬼を殺して回る分だけは、生きていていい権利がある。
This seems to be the point Noel was building up to. I claw at my chest, spurring my lungs back into action. I can't believe myself. What does it matter what kind of person Ciel is or if she's really immortal or not? I'm furious that I let Noel's words get under my skin.
今にも倒れちゃいそうね、四季君。やっぱりショックだった？
ええ。頭にくるぐらいショックです。それより、なんだってこんなことを話す気になったんですか、先生は。
そうだけど、あなたの考え違いを正してあげたかったの。
I mean, you don't have to worry about... never mind.
私が言うのもなんだけど、助けてもらったからって簡単に心を許しちゃダメよ。あの人だってあなたを利用しているだけなんだから。
No. I know that's a lie. Ciel isn't using me. She never has. I'm the one who wanted to help. She's always looked out for me. Not once has she ever asked me to do anything.
そうなんだ。意外ね、それ。まあ、仮にそうだとしても、始まりが不正なのは変わらないわ。四季君、あの人に暗示をかけられていたことさえ気づいてないんだから。
Her words freeze my thoughts.
暗示。
This time, I'm really going to pass out.
そうよ。あの人は自分に好意を持つように四季君を操っていた。
I was quite obsessed with her
嘘だと
legs.
思うなら思い出してみなさい。
To a weird degree.
あなたはいつからシエルと知り合いなの？あの子を先輩と呼ぶようになったのはどんなきっかけだった？
When did we meet? I don't even have to try to remember. Ciel is a third year at my school, and I've known her since I was a first year. Since I was a first year?
Oh.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I have no memories of spending time with Ciel at school. The first memory I can recall is running into her on the train. Now that I think about it, when did I meet Ciel? I don't even know which class she's in. Thank you, Tono. Her words. That smile. That's all it took for me to think that I'd always known her.
嘘。
You got gaslit, buddy. She girl bossed. She gaslit. And there might even be a bit of gatekeeping. One thing in particular gives me a feeling of unease. Everyone called her Ciel like it was the most normal thing in the world. Like it was a regular Japanese name or something. How did no one ever... Oh, literally! How did no one ever question a name like that?
ほら見なさい。私だって赴任して仰天したわ。いくら筆跡に耐性のない一般人でも100人200人に暗示をかけるなんて並大抵の魔力量じゃないもの。
Lowercase s, you made a mistake.
さすがは第7位ってところかしらね。それとも暗示だからこれだけのことができたのかしら。暗示は所詮暗示。印象の操作に過ぎないものね。記憶そのものをいじる洗脳とは違うんだし。四季君たちはきっとシエルを疑問に思わないということだけを刷り込まれていたんでしょうね。
That's right. I did feel like something was off at first, but those doubts faded the more I looked at her legs. Anywhere she went, it felt completely natural for her to be there. That's what was distinctive about Ciel.
それは。
That doesn't mean she was lying to me. She had good reason for
俺
it.
たちを危険にさらさないために黙っていただけでしょ。
ええ、一般生徒にはね。でも四季君はもう違う。あの地下を知った以上、暗示は解いてあげるべきだった。
Is the twist gonna be that she did? And we just love her so much we remember it?
それに教えてあげるべきことを黙っているというのは思いやりになるのかしら。知られたら都合が悪いから黙っているだけじゃないの？
I have no arguments left. All I can do is look down and breathe deep like I'm sticking my head in the
こ
sand.
れで分かったでしょ？あの人がいい子ちゃんに見えるのは全部演技なんだって。ええ、演技でなかったら今までの冷酷ぶりは何だったっていうの？
I hear footsteps treading on grass. Lifting my head up, I see that she's made her way to the exit of the courtyard.
話はこれでおしまいよ。そろそろあの人もここを見つけるだろうし、四季君と密会していたなんて知られたら何をされるかわからないわ。最悪、四季君と私もう用済みだからって消されるかも。そもそも四季君は知っちゃいけないことをたくさん知っちゃったし、なんであれ証拠隠滅はしなくっちゃね。
That'd be bad.
証拠隠滅って何を？
そう、それはこれからの行動次第よ、四季君。あの子の機嫌を損なわないよう、あの子に見逃してもらえるよう、 仕事が全部終わった後はいつも通り死人に口なしってオチでしょうけど。
I feel an indignant impulse to protest flare up within me. That's not how things will end. Even if Ciel has to keep everything quiet, she said she'd only erase my memories. But I wonder, could she really erase everything that's happened this week and nothing else?
そうそう、そういう顔してもらわないと危険を冒した甲斐がないわ。それじゃあね、四季くん。今日の話をちゃんと胸に留めて、私みたいに何もかも台無しにされないよう気をつけて。
Alright, you're getting fired. That's probably why you're doing this.
待て。
This is just the alley from the original Tsukihime. Oh my god. I call out for her to stop, but it's already too late. The woman who summoned me into another world laid the truth on me and left with a smile on her face. God, that is a beautiful shot. I feel uneasy like a spider. Like a spider, you say? Like a spider has taken up residence inside my skull. Shaking my head to clear away the webs, I leave behind the factory and its walls dripping with red. Every time they reference a spider, I'm like, that's pretty on the nose.
お帰りなさいませ、四季様。
ただいま翡翠。ごめん、ちょっと頭が痛いんだ。少しだけ休むから夕食になったら呼びに来てくれ。
Can you get me some of Kohaku's really good cream? Like her really good cream. Misui's come to greet me, but I give her a curt response and go straight to my room. This room's really nice at the sunset. I don't think we've seen it at sunset. We've not been here at sunset. Locking the door as I enter my room, I sit down on the bed and finally calm down. I had a huge fight with Ciel and witnessed that gruesome scene at the abandoned factory. Ciel told me to stop seeing Arquid, and Miss Noel told me to not trust Ciel, that she was only using me to help her kill vampires.
なんだそれ。悩むまでもないじゃないか。先輩が俺を利用しているなら、アルクエイドとのことであんなに怒らないはず
Bro's
だ。
trying to play 4D chess in his brain. There's no way Ciel could be lying to me. She always puts my safety above hunting vampires. And still, I didn't listen to her warnings and hurt her with my thoughtless words.
分かってる。先輩は悪くない。悪いのは頭に血が上った俺の方だ。
How pathetic I am. I wanted her to trust Arquid. I should have been more patient. Try to mediate between the two of them. I like Ciel. Respect, friendship, attraction. I have so many different feelings for her. This is the first time I've longed so dearly for someone to be happy. If I didn't have anemia, I'm sure I'd have asked her out by now. What? Does it work that way? Does anemia stop you from asking people out? Okay. Yet at the same time, I feel just as strongly about Arquid. My feelings for her come from a different place. I only lashed out at Ciel for saying the person with that beautiful smile was no more than a lowly vampire.
なんだそれ。筋が通らない。
Damn it. I never knew I was this kind of person. Come to terms with how I feel about Ciel, so why am I still hung up on Arquid? Is it because of those feelings that I didn't want to hear her say that? This time I sighed deeply, letting out every bit of frustration. The sun has already set. In a few hours, it'll be time to meet up with Arquid. Leaving my own question unanswered, I lay my tired body down in bed until Hisui comes for me. I think Buddy's gonna fall asleep. I don't think Buddy's gonna make it to Arkwood. Oh. Right, dinner. I go back to my room after eating dinner. Oh. Assailed by a twinge in my head. I breathe deeply to let the dizziness pass. I've been getting headaches a lot lately from taking off my glasses and looking at the lines too much. Even in this, the consequences of hunting down vampires is apparent. Ciel's right. I shouldn't be going out at night. I know that full well, but... Well, that's not ominous at all, jeez. That's terrifying. If I heard that in my house, that's it. I'm out of there. Almost time to meet Arkwood. Whether to continue our hunt or to end it is not a decision I can make on my own. Seeing her again will help me figure this all out. If I conclude that my relationship with Arkwood has come to an end, so be it.
そうだよな。一番良くないのは、このまま答えを出さないことだ。
Yeah, she did say she'd break into the house, so... I give my clothes a once-over and turn off the lights in my room. After making sure my knife is in my pocket, I head to the park where Arkwood is waiting. I slip out the front gates undetected. The road in front of the Tono mansion sees little traffic, and I'm probably the only one who walks down it. It's especially quiet tonight. With people going out less because of the serial killer, most lights in the residential area I can see below are already out. It's not even 10 yet, but the silence makes it feel like it's 1 in the morning. The wind has a bite to it now that the end of October draws near. Fall will be over in no time. I idly wish for everything to come to an end before winter freezes the world over. I walk along the path outside the mansion. Going down this hill will put me in the residential area. If I were going to school, I'd head southwest from the residential area towards the shopping district. The station is just past it. Once I popped out the south exit on the other side, I'd be at school in 10 minutes. I'm going to the park tonight, so I won't need to go through the city. I'll just keep heading south past the elevated railway that splits the town into... Wow! That's exactly like Kobe. Yeah. There is the elevated railway that literally splits the town in two. I rode it everywhere. I took it to the Fate Bridge. I took it to, all the Fate places. Yeah. I have a little less than 15 minutes till 10 p.m. So again, even though we're like set in Tokyo, this is still very much based on like a lot of what's in Kobe, where like that's where Fate in the original Tsukihime were basically taken from. And like this area, like the western district here, the residential area, I explored it. I'd better hurry. The roads will be dark since I'm skipping the shopping district, but it's the quickest way to the meeting spot. And then I see a silhouette by the mansion's perimeter wall. Do we? A girl wearing a nun's habit. She casually leans against the wall like she's here to see me off rather than to stop me.
呆れましたね。こんな夜更けにどこに行く気ですか?
So it's very interesting. Despite this being the Ciel outfit, she really doesn't wear... This is only the second time in the entire game we've seen it so far. It's really not used often. I stop dead in my tracks. Ciel's eyes are cold, her voice devoid of emotion. I thought I'd look for her at school tomorrow, but she's come for me. A golden opportunity has fallen into my lap, but I can't look Ciel in the eye. I wish I could apologize right now and patch things up. Before I do that, I have to figure out something else. How do I feel about Arkwood? I can't talk to Ciel until I know the answer to that.
先輩、俺は。
言い訳は聞きません。今こうしていること自体があなたの心情を表していますから。まったく。あれだけ言ったのに彼女のところに行くって言うんですね、遠野くんは。 そんなに吸血鬼がいいんですか？はあ、もしや永遠の命とか、そんな甘い見返りを夢見ていますか？
I mean, that has a very different meaning now that we know your power, but...
No.
Ciel lets loose an uncharacteristically scathing jab. Eternal life, the alluring prospect of immortality for one who was bitten by a vampire and turned into a dead apostle. But in the end, it's no different from being human. If they don't eat, they die, and they can obviously be killed. In light of everything I've been through, I know that all too well, not to mention that I...
そりゃ夢には見るでしょ。誰だって死にたくないし、先輩みたいに強くなりたいし。はい、そうですよ。丈夫な体になれるなら、俺、アルクエイドのものになってもいいんです。
You're so stupid, why are you saying this?
え？
Oh. Are you just doing it to get her to react?
トーノク、何言ってるんですか？そこは、そんなわけないだろ先輩。町のためにやってるんだぜって返すものでしょ？
もちろんです。で、あんな挑発をして、そういう反論を期待してたんですね。
4D chess. So that's how it is. If I had told her what she was expecting me to hear, she'd already have me
今
beat.
夜だけは先輩の言うことは聞けませんから。でも、作動室でのことは反省しています。これが終わったら、話を聞いてください。
I walked past Ciel without looking at her. It's not much of an excuse, but meeting with Arquid takes priority right now.
そうですか。そこまで覚悟ができているのなら、私からは何もありません。作動室の件も気にしないでください。遠野くんは間違ったことは言っていませんでしたから。
Her voice comes at me from behind. It no longer carries any intent to stop me from going to see Arquid. I see. She's thoroughly fed up with me now.
それじゃあ、俺、行くから。
はい。どうぞ遠野くんのお好きなようにしてください。
I can only hear her voice, but I keep walking away from the mansion, unable to look back. Clop, clop, clop. Oh, is Nanako out? Footsteps echo through the residential area. Not from the heavy plodding of a man, but someone lighter of foot. What's more, my sneakers aren't making much noise. Only someone with a hard soul, say laced-up combat boots, would make a sound like this. In fact, I'm sure of it. Oh, get those heels off of there! Why do they keep doing this? Oh, I hate it. Stop giving girls unneeded heels. I hate it. It's so stupid. Flat combat boots are cool too. You know what? I'm looking at it. Ciel Tsukihime boot. I look at it, and in the original, they were nice and flat, as God intended. And yep, I'm comparing it to Tsukihime Remake, and they gave her frickin' heels. Even powered Ciel. Frickin' heels. Stop? Stop it. I hate it. It's stupid. This is a design choice that I will always rage against. Because in no world does fighting with high heels like this make sense. Unless your name is Bayonetta or you're cunty like Raiden. That's it. Whoops. I pressed I forgot to press the B button. I'm coming from pair of boots. I stop walking. The footsteps stop too. Damn it. If I ignore her and keep going, I'll end up at the park in no time. I have to say something.
ですね、先輩。
She's just standing there. I spin around.
はい？なんでしょう、そこの健康不良少年くん。
It's a funny image.
不良でいいですけど、先輩の家ってこっちの方だったっけ？
いえ、全く違いますね。遠野くん、一度来たことあるでしょう。忘れちゃったんですか？
覚えてます。忘れません。ちょっと確認したくなっただけです。
はい、正解です。大した記憶力ですね。私の家への曲がり道はズバリさっき通り過ぎました。
Right, right. I grin and reply. Yep. Ciel smiles back.
それじゃあ、俺はこっちだから。
はい、どうぞ、遠野くんのお好きなように。
This is really funny. Ciel beams from ear to ear, but despite her cheerful expression, I've got a really bad feeling about this. It is so funny that there is no one out. He's like, the streets are dead, and bro still waits to cross the street. I mean, that's exactly what I would do too, and that's what I do. Honestly, I do that myself, mostly because I'm afraid of the fine for jaywalking. But bro is just gonna do that, huh?
どうしました？
Take a deep breath,
行か
rather.
ないんですか？
Ciel's question sounds so innocent. I take the opening and run off into the night. Buddy, you're not getting away from her. Oh my god, dude. Buddy, you're not getting away from her. I'm going as fast as my legs will carry me, tearing through the city without looking back. I don't hear any footsteps coming after me, but I make a small detour as an added precaution. Ciel will have a harder time tracking me in the bustling station area. I'll zip through the crowds and make it look like I'm heading to school, then rush back to the train tracks. I've hit my limit. I'm almost at the park now, so I should be in the clear. Shoulders heaving. I finally stop and catch my breath. It looks like that worked. I don't hear that rhythmic clop, so Ciel probably lost track of me and ended up somewhere
感
else.
心できませんね、遠野くん。誰もいないからといって、むやみに走り出すのはどうかと思います。
Buddy, of course. A hand clamps down on my shoulder from behind.
ああ！
I startle, leaping into the air like a frog.
なんでついてくるんだよ、先輩！
なんでも何も、遠野くん一人じゃ不安じゃないですか。遠野くんのようななんちゃって調査とは違う、真に町の平和を守る者として当然の行為ですが、何か？
Ciel lays it all out there. She must be upset that I tried to lose her. This has made one thing clear, though. Ciel isn't going to let me go on my own. It won't be easy to say this, but what are these options? Also, I'm going to look at the flowchart while we're here. Okay, so there hasn't been any other... Okay. You know what? I'm going to give it to her straight. I have no choice but to tell her in no uncertain terms to leave. Oh, that's not what I thought. That's not what I thought you meant. I thought it was... Okay. I'll try to keep my cool. I'll do my best to stay calm. I can use what she said earlier to my advantage.
ちょっと待って。先輩、さっき俺の好きにしていいって言ってくれましたよね。
はい、どうぞ遠野くんのお好きなようにしてください。
Ciel nods, smiling.
よかった。俺の幻聴ってわけじゃなかったんだな。よし。それじゃあここでお別れです。これ以上ついてきちゃダメですからね。
はあ、私、遠野くんについてきているわけではありませんけど。
She's really hitting us with the I'm not touching you while putting her hand like directly in front of us.
いや、実際ついてきてるじゃないですか。
公園に用があるだけです。遠野くんがどこに行くのかは知りませんけど、行き先が公園でないのならここでお別れですね。
So this is what it's come to. I can't really argue with that. And yet,
ああ、もうそれでもダメです。公園にはアルクエイドがいるんですよ。 あいつなんでか先輩を敵視してるし、このまま合わせるわけにはいきません。
おや、私のことを
That's a
心配して
very
くれるんですか？
smug-looking Ciel. Wow, wow, that is a smug Ciel.
心配なんかするに決まってます。俺は先輩とアルクエイドが争うところなんて見たくない。お願いですから、もうこれ以上ついてこないでください。
なるほどなるほど、そうですか。私の心配じゃなくて彼女の心配をしているんですね、遠野くんは。
Ciel ignores me, taking my words in exactly the wrong way. Judging by her taunt, I get the feeling that she's enjoying this.
先輩、もしかして茶道室のこともさっきのことも、いやそれ以前に俺がアルクエイドと夜出歩いたこと自体ずっと怒ってたんじゃないですか？
She smiles sweetly without saying a word. She's angry, all right. There's no doubt about it. Behind that face lies a deep-seated grudge.
わかりました。全部俺が悪かったです。もっとちゃんと謝りたかったけど、こうなったら仕方ないです。茶道室でのことは謝ります。あれは俺の失言でした。だから
帰ってくれなんて言ったら本気で怒りますよ、遠野くん。
え？
私たち今絶好中なんです。私も拗ねているみたいですから、生半可なことじゃ素直になれません。
It's kind of scary in its own right.
先輩、
ここで遠野くんが帰ってくれるのなら仲直りできるんですけど、それは無理だって分かってます。ですからこんな話をしていても無意味です。あなたが私に謝る必要もありません。私昼のことは気にしていませんから。私の仕事は吸血鬼を退治すること。今はそれを忠実にこなしているだけです。
先輩。
Ciel ignores me and starts walking away. Her destination is none other than my meeting spot with Arkwid, the park by the south exit. Oh, we're gonna see the girlies fight. We're gonna see the girlies
待って
fight.
ください。
Uh-oh.
どうしてそんなにムキになってるんですか？
私ムキになんかなっていません。あなたの方こそ私と一緒にいると彼女に誤解されるんじゃないですか？
誤解って何がですか？
あなたは彼女が好きなんでしょ？なら彼女の敵である私と一緒にいるのは立場的にまずいと思いますけど。
好きって別に俺はあいつのことが好きってわけじゃ。
I can't bring myself to say that I don't like Arkwid. My attraction to her appears to be an undeniable fact.
もうほんと自分自身にも嘘をつけないんですね、遠野くんは。
This is a very... This expression hurts to see.
なんか正直すぎて参っちゃいます。
Ciel sighs, sounding equal parts exasperated and resigned. I don't know what feelings that sigh really contained, but her edge is dulled. Seems she's back to her usual self, though her hair looks more anime than usual.
けど本当にここで別れた方がいいですよ。私たちは絶好中なんですし、こんなところをアルクエイドに見られた
She's
ら。
gonna appear right now.
ふん、
Oh, here we go.
見られたらどうなるのかしらね、シエル。
Oh boy. As soon as that line appeared, I turned toward the voice coming from behind me. Oh, yellow eyes, gold eyes. Standing there is a woman I have never seen. Her golden hair is bathed in moonlight. Her body is pale and beautiful and apparently Canadian, so pure that no corruption can draw near. Though she is a denizen of the night and Canada, she shines like the sun. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's wild. But she's different. This is not the Arkwid I know.
アルクエイド。
Oh. I quietly speak her name. The woman in white briefly flicks her eyes to me, then turns to focus back to Ciel.
遠野くん、下がって。 いえ、なんとか隙を見て公園の外まで逃げてください。
Ciel whispers a warning as she steps forward. If she told me to run from Arquid before, I would have said she was overstating the danger, but right now, it sure looks like the best course of action. At the same time, I realize that it's impossible. Oh no. The air is unbelievably heavy. Arquid's crimson eyes are dreadful. It's no exaggeration to say that everything in this park, from the trees to their leaves, is frozen under that gaze. The tension I feel now is as stifling as when I faced down Vlav, if not more so. Instinct tells me my life is forfeit if I take so much as a single step.
驚いたわ。四季の声が聞こえたから来てみれば、まさかあなたが一緒だなんてね。何をしに来たの、シエル。私に用はないと思うけど。ええ、あなたに用などありません。大事ならともかく、話をするなんて考えるだけでもおぞけが走りますから。私は彼があんまりにも危なっかしいので指導をしてあげているだけです。どうも頭のゆるい吸血鬼にたぶらかされているようなので。指導が必要なのはそっちの体の方なんじゃない？余分な肉ばかりついて死に際のカバのよう。それともどんなに切り崩しても重さの減らない贅肉かしら。
Are you really hitting her with that? Really? I'm gonna be real, guys. Dating apps here, I've seen girls call themselves BBWs, and they look like Ciel. Like, I'm like, what do you mean BBW? No. That word has a very different meaning in North America, right? Okay.
そっくりそのまま返しますよ。起きて殺すことだけがあなたの美点でしょうに。人間に助けを求めるなんて、そんな余分はらしくありません。
Okay, you're kind of taking the high road here, so points are currently in Ciel's favor.
心祖の誇りとやらをどこかに落としたのですか？
Like she's not going to base, appearance ones. She's going deeper.
まあそんなもの、実際あったかどうか疑問ですけど。
Ooh, strong. It's weird. It feels like the tension is eased slightly. Maybe it's because the pressure enveloping the entire park has been redirected at Ciel alone? Actually, looking at them now, they almost seem like birds of a feather. Maybe they can talk things out.
つくづく勘に触る女ね。一度やられたぐらいじゃ物足りないってこと？あなたこそ手も足も出ずに地に落とされた恐怖がまだ拭えていないんじゃないですか？
What? Huh? What?
言ったわね、キャンズ。
What? I'm curious what that one means.
何よ、人のパートナーを横取りするつもり？ええ、状況次第では。
This scene is so much better directed than the original.
彼が私を頼ってくれるのなら、今すぐにでも。
The situation is about to boil over. The hostilities may not be focused on me, but I can't stand by and watch. Ciel and Arquid aren't kids, so it shouldn't come to blows. Still, as the person in the middle, I have to quell some of their bloodlust.
待ってくれ、二人とも。なんか空気が不穏だ。耐えられない。というか落ち着け。
Why'd you say
お互い
that?
目的は同じなんだろう。ならここは仲良く。
Why'd you say that, buddy?
トーニ君は黙っててください。
Well, that didn't work. Based on the animosity in their glares, I'm guessing I've only added fuel to the fire.
真似しないでよ。四季に呼びかけるのは私だけの特権なんですけど。呼びかける？今のが？せいぜい同活の間違いでしょう。鏡を見たことがないんですね。
Dang.
吸血鬼だから鏡に映らないんでしたっけ？どこの迷信よ。鏡にぐらいちゃんと映るわ、私。
Yeah. Wait, you do all vampires? I thought it was just because it was the silver backing of mirrors that was the problem.
お
おや、そうでしたか。それは失礼。使徒ですら自分の姿を恥じて姿を移さないというのに、大した厚顔っぷりです。さすがは吸血鬼の大元。感服しました。
Well, that's some good confirmation. Dead apostles straight up do not have, right, a reflection. Okay. Very interesting. But true ancestors do.
ねえ、もしかして挑発しているの？
まさかこれは挑発ではなく糾弾ですよ。
Oh.
自分が何であるかを理解しない愚か者に現実を教えてあげているだけです。
Oh no. Arkwood's smile is beautiful, yet horrifying. My fingers tingle with numbness. Every hair on my body stands on end. In a single breath, the park is frozen under the grinning portent of death. I kind of wish it was a smaller moon to fully match her smile, but I also understand that timeline-wise, that does not match up. But even faced with that smile, Ciel does not back down.
いいわ。私からも最初で最後の勧告よ。シキはあなたのことがそれなりに大事らしいから、今回だけは見逃してあげる。また殺される前に今すぐここから消え去りなさい。
驚きましたね。吸血鬼が人間の機嫌を伺うなんて。あなたなら人間なんて思い通りに操れる。彼に協力させるならしもべにしてしまえばいいのに、なぜ魅了しないのですか、ハルクエイド。
あなたらしい品位に欠けた発想ね。
Oh my god. This is the cattiest cat fight.
シキは私のパートナーよ。そんなことをしなくても私の手助けをしてくれるって言ってくれた。
This is the most the girlies are fighting I've ever
私の
seen.
そばにいてくれた。私が一人でいる時もシキに会えると思うだけで時間は瞬く間に過ぎていった。当然でしょ。だってシキは私の運命の人なんだから。
Oh. Oh wow. Oh, you're just saying that out loud. Wait, soulmate? What the hell is she talking about? Ciel's wordless judgment stings. She's staring me down silently, demanding to know what the meaning of all this is. Not that I have the answer to that. I'd like to know myself.
ふざけてるんですか、あなたは。何を言い出すかと思えば、よりにもよってオムファタルなんて。
Homme fatale? I mean, that is, because that's the, like, femme fatale is that, but homme fatale, that's man. Okay. Huh. Wow, that's an interesting phrase. Also, all I'm thinking of is Lord Farquaad going, the vampire's fallen in love with the human!
ふざけてなんかいないわ。シキの心も体も彼がこれから得る喜びも悲しみも死に伏せる権利さえ私のもの。
Oh, you are, it is crazy how different you are from the original in this route. It is, again, I just felt like the original Ciel route was just Arquid plus, but this is totally different. You're terrifying. Your love is terrifying.
ええ、使徒の気持ちが少しだけ理解できたわ。人間の血を飲みたいとは思わないけど、シキの命は私以外の誰にも渡さない。
Oh my goodness. I can barely squeeze a whisper out of my throat. I don't know their history, and more evidently, I can't stop the fight that's on the verge of breaking out. But even so, I can't ignore what Arquid just said. She understands how a dead apostle feels? No way. I haven't known her for long, but I know that can't be true. That would mean she's no more than a vampire.
アルクエド、あなたまさか。
さあ、どうかしら。あなたから私はどう見えるの、シエル。吸血衝動に飲み込まれて打点したように見える？
いいえ、神祖が落ちたのならとっくに世界は裏返っています。 あなたはまだ狂っても落ちてもいない。つまり今の段階ならまだ間に合うということです。
ええ、その通りよシエル。これは吸血衝動とは違う。だって楽しいわ。すごく胸が弾んでいるの。まるで春の野原のよう。以前あなたは私を愚かだと言ったわね。ロアに騙された世間知らずだって。本当にそう。シキに殺されるまでの私は本当に愚かだった。
Oh, this is the first time she's gonna hear about this.
自由になることが、自由に手足を動かせることが、自由に人間を好きになることが、こんなにも気持ちいいなんて知らな
Yo,
かっ
the
た。
music's popping off.
だから今の私はあなた以上に人間的よ。例
Dang.
えばこんな風に自分の気持ちを表現できる。
Arquid sinks her teeth into her index finger like she's taking a bite out of a strawberry. Red liquid drops down her pale finger. A small drop of blood falls onto the stone pavement. Splish. The droplet hits the ground with the tiniest sound and... In an instant, a pool of crimson liquid covers the park square. What is she doing? What is she doing? Me too! This can't be real. But no, the park is actually covered in blood. Why is this not a stage in melty blood? Probably because of ESRB, honestly. The sticky red liquid sloshing around my ankles is proof of that. Oh my
安
god.
心して。一滴だけだから。
This is one drop of your blood?
これから楽しい時間になるのに、ここは色が薄すぎて。せめてこれぐらいはしないと趣がないでしょ。
Oh my god. The air coiling around me feels dense, but there is no malice in her voice. She's the same old Arquid, the same stupid innocent girl with a smile as bright as the sun. Only one thing is off. One slight trivial mistake that has turned her into something else.
自由に思うままに行動するというのですね。あなたが何の制約もなく思うままにロアを処罰すると、
Oh, so you know about that.
その結果がどうなるか理解していますか？自らを縛らない真相は使徒と変わらない。グローブのようにこの町を蹂躙するのが望みだとでも。
分かりきったことを聞かないでシエル。人間の町に関心はないわ。邪魔をしなければ何もしない。こんなの道端の石と同じよ。ああ、でもそっか。
There is something to say about, like, she's like, I have no interest in human cities. They're insignificant to me. That also means you don't care about what happens to them.
好きになるのも自由なら憎んでみるのも自由よね。ロアに汚染された町、ロアの痕跡を残すたち、どちらにせよ汚
Oh
らしいし、
no.
きれいに掃除していくのも私の自由。
Oh, you okay?
それにここで思いっきり今までずっと気に食わなかった女を八つ咲きにするのも心底楽しそうじゃない？
God, they really made her gold eyes utterly terrifying. Oh, jump scare. Thank you, Arquid. Just what I wanted, the Arquid jump scare. That actually got me. The battle begins instantaneously. The woman in white leaps into the air. Swords dart through the air, suppressing her advance. The two figures clash before I have the chance to react.
遠野くん下がって。
Why did the perspective change? Ciel leaps to the side as she shouts a warning at the boy behind her. Okay, why are we third person? Not a moment later, White Claw. The drink? White claws tear through the ground where she stood. Arquid is closed in on her in a single bound, slamming her arm into the ground as if to crush her entire body.
決まりね。遊びましょう、シエル。
The avatar of white. Sorry, I can't. I know, like, that's her, like, thematic element, But, like, they keep using new ways. Like, they keep using white in different ways, and every time it makes me laugh, because it's like, like if I were to call someone the avatar of white, they'd be, it's like, what's the avatar of white have? It's like, Ford truck, cheese board, hockey, friggin' watching Family Guy. The four nations lived in harmony. At the avatar of white controlled the ball. I don't know. I couldn't think of four white things quickly. Avatar of white cheerfully taunts her mortal enemy. To her, the thrill of the fight far outweighs the humiliation of her foiled attack. Ciel ignores the jeering as she formulates a strategy. This is the worst possible turn the knight could have taken. Her opponent is a true ancestor who has lost her mind. They are in the middle of the city, and she is only armed with black keys. To make matters worse, she needs to protect an innocent bystander, Shikitono in this instance. While she fights, she's left with only one course of action. Go on the defensive, wait for a pause in Arkwood's onslaught, and use it to erect the most powerful bounded field she has and retreat with Shiki. It is a simple plan in theory, but Ciel knows from experience that plans rarely survive contact with the enemy. The Theseus dashes at her in a straight line. Theseus? What is... Is that, like, chaser? Theseus. Oh. Oh, what the frick? It's not French. I mean, it is. But it is a Theseus. That is a... How do you say this? Theseus. Theseus is a female practitioner of parkour. Okay. Sure. She's doing hardcore parkour. The Theseus dashes at her in a straight line. Ciel sends a sword flying toward her torso. These swords are also known as black keys, inquisitorial tools used exclusively by executors. In its basic form, it appears to be nothing but a hilt. However, a blade appears when it is infused with a sacrament, allowing it to function as a sword. You can also, like, pump a bunch into it and make them fat. That said, it is used primarily for thrusting and throwing, making it less effective of a cutting tool than a bullet. Making it less of a cutting tool than a bullet for piercing vampires from afar. And when Executor Ciel imbues it with her will, it darts through the air with the force of a cannonball. Transcending human limits, she moves with millimeter precision. All of her physical energy is channeled into the throw, amplifying the power of the Black Key by an order of magnitude. It is not the work of magecraft or sacraments, but pure mastery of the human body. One fanatic spent hundreds of years devising this technique, a pitch with the force to pierce a concrete wall. At the burial agency, they called it the Iron Boar. But one swipe of Arkwood's claws is enough to render it useless. Every black key Ciel throws is an Iron Boar. That timing was immaculate. The vampire bats aside the rain of swords with a smile on her face, bearing down on the executor. The distance Ciel created is closed effortlessly. Arkwood's claws come swinging down. Ciel attempts to use a black key as a shield, but it shatters. The impact reverberates through her arms all the way to her ribs. Unable to resist the force of the blow, she jumps back in the direction she was thrown. The hilts of 6 more black keys appear in her hands. In the span of a single breath, she launches them at Arkwood and pulls back 10 meters from the vampire.
私が言うのもなんだけど、そんな年代物いつまで使ってるのよ、あなたたちは。ほら、もっとこう面白そうな。
Oh? As Arkwood implied, black keys have a long and storied history of nearly 1,700 years. There are few who still use them due to the high level of skill they demand, and modern weaponry serves as an adequate substitute. But Ciel is not the average executor. She understands that a weapon cannot be dismissed on account of age. Several variations have been developed over its thousands of years of use. One of these is the cremation rite, a wall of flame burning at 500 degrees Celsius to incinerate the impure beings known as the living dead. Of course, such a weapon has no chance of stopping this vampire. It's fun because in Melty Blood you can throw one of them and have it explode. The flames are just a distraction. Ciel's goal is only to restrain her. Direct attacks with the black keys have little effect, but trapping Arcwood in a bounded field will keep her at bay for a day. She brushes the Torna blades aside. But they're around her. When the black keys pierce the ground, a glowing field shoots up between them, forming an outline in the shape of a cathedral. The walls are more than strong enough to keep Arcwood locked within, if only she had been in range. The white figure charges at the executor, waving through the swords like a beautiful beast bounding across a vast plain.
Oh no!
Ciel meets Arcwood head-on. Though she could have dodged the blow, she does not allow herself that option. She's already been driven to the edge of the park. If she were to fall back any further, the fight would be taken into the city streets.
何よそれつまらない。ブローブに使ってた武器はどうしたの？たくさんの毒をばらまく道具は趣味の悪いギロチンは？重苦しくてぶっとい杭を私には使ってくれないの？勝手なことを。
Ciel weathers the vicious assault. Her muscles feel like they are on the verge of exploding. Having taken the brunt of Arcwood's charge, she's like a spring coiled to its limit. And she releases all her energy with a fiery roar. Ciel pivots, putting her force into a roundhouse kick that strikes Arcwood in the chest. The white shadow is sent flying, with 3 black keys following closely behind. Oh? Oh? Yo, they like put her... Oh, so like, they made like the wall, and then they threw these in, and that like extended the wall? Like a double layer? Tower ring? The Tower Ring is a bounded field devised by Ciel for use against true ancestors, more specifically against Arcwood specifically. Simply nailing black keys into the ground and creating a wall would not hold her. To capture prey that moves about this freely requires a 3-dimensional method of herding, in this case by using the towering walls of a temple as the foundation for a structure that simultaneously occupies vertical and horizontal space. Although the field will not harm its target, it is practically indestructible. The Tower of Light has about the same hardness and mass as the building it's modeled after, namely the Strasbourg Cathedral, the tallest middle structure in the world during the Middle Ages, a mass of stone and prayer standing 140 meters tall. The vampire has no hope of escaping it.
魔術は使わないんじゃなかったの？あの嘘くさい心情はどこに行った？
あなたとロアにしか使わないだけです。諦めなさい、アルクエイド。それは27素であっても一時的に封じ得る強度を持ちます。新素であっても容易には砕けません。加えて
Don't taunt her, she'll break it.
加えて何？やっぱりあの武器を持ってくるの？
And?
聖典を持ち出す必要はありません。ことはすでに終わっていますから。
The countless pillars of light thrusting out of the ground join together. They form layer upon layer of walls, overlapping to form a single cage.
グローブの時の。
それはゴチックフォート。ある素から奪い取った原理を用いた結界です。
Whoa.
本来は外界との遮断に用いますが、使い方によっては最大の武器にもなる。
You're combining a principle with a sacrament? That's kind of crazy.
ところでアルクエイド、魔術世界における生命の質量定義は知っていますね。
Okay, where are we going?
生命そのものが持つエネルギー生産量、もしくは質量を段階として定義したものです。
I feel like I'm either in math class or a Polygon unraveled video with Brian David Gilbert.
その基準はシンプルで、大きさと重さとで測られます。
Okay.
一番強いものが小さくて重いもの。
So you're saying the strongest are short stacks. Okay.
2番目に強いものが大きくて重いもの。
Okay, big women, big women.
3番目が小さくて軽いもの。これは人間ですね。
Okay.
そして最後に大きくて軽いもの。これは情報や噂話、幽霊といった広範囲に広がるものです。
Interesting you're talking about gossip, because that forms the basis for like the story of Melty Blood, right? Gossip there is what makes Tatari.
シエ、あなた。
私の大聖堂は最大直径 30km の隔絶空間。生命ではありませんが、大きくて重いものです。これを極限まで圧縮すればどうなるか、試してみるのも一興だと思いませんか？
Oh.
いくら凶暴なあなたでも抜け出すにはそれなりの時間が必要になる。少なくとも1時間は
So
超高密度の監獄を味わってもらいましょう。
So I don't know much about Jujutsu Kaisen, but like, isn't this what happens to Gojo? Isn't this what everyone talks about? They cube him. Is this what it is? Is she gonna cube her?
イデアブラッド22番クロムクレイペタストラクチャー。
All right. So hold up. 22, right? 22. Dead Apostle Ancestor List. I'm curious about the list of the 27 Dead Apostle Ancestors, because if I were to look at it, who is 22 of them? 22 was... Oh, that is Chrome Clay Pentastructure. That is who it is. Okay. I thought that was the power. That's the name of the one. Cool. The Executor raises her arm high, then brings together the Gothic fort like she were closing the lid of a treasure chest, compressing the space within. Or rather, she attempted to. Whoa! I've never heard her that mad. A violent blue torrent bursts forth, and an invisible force sends Ciel flying. The tower that trapped Arcuit is shattered. The beams of light that held it in place fade into nothingness.
何よそれ。閉じ込めるとか封じ込めるとか、周りを守ることばっかり。これは私との遊びでしょ。ならもっと本気になりなさいよね。
Is she seeking death? It feels to me like Arcuit realizes she's degrading and will lose her mind and is trying to get killed. Like, for real this time. Arcuit walks towards her enemy like she intends to stamp her out her frustration. She had accused Ciel of not taking their fight seriously, but she severely misread the situation. The Executor was fighting seriously. Considering her limited equipment, she was literally giving it everything she had. Against a true ancestor like Arcuit, all she could do is fight defensively. Going on the offensive would be a recipe for her own ruin. To truly defeat Arcuit, she would need equipment that could kill her in one blow. That is what Ciel thinks, at least. But she does not have such luxuries at her disposal now, and Arcuit is not in her right mind. All that awaits her on the other side of this torment is death. What plagues her mind as she stares down her demise, however, is not fear.
こんなことって。
That single blow was enough to cause most of her organs to fail. The Executor fixes her eyes on the approaching vampire princess, gritting her teeth against a pain fierce enough to make anyone faint. Oh my god, that
信
face.
じられない。あのバカ、本当に自分の感情で力を使っていませんか？
This is such a scary CG. The woman who has killed countless dead apostles, the woman who destroyed Vlov, now finds herself wishing that the terrible truth before her eyes was only a dream. See, now we're back to the perspective. Ciel shouts a warning to me as Arquid comes rushing in at her with the speed and ferocity of a hurricane. She dodges, landing at the edge of the park square, a move clearly chosen to give me room to escape. Their fight is entirely beyond my comprehension. I can't even follow Arquid's movements. All I see are white after images fading into the dark of night. Still, Ciel continues to fend off her flurry of attacks. It's clear even in the way they fight that the two of them are diametrically opposed. In contrast to Arquid's wild, spontaneous attacks, Ciel doesn't waste a single movement. She retreats, throws her swords from a distance, and braces when her attacker draws near. They are equals in fighting prowess. Arquid moves with reckless abandon while Ciel remains firm and steady, but the odds are not in Ciel's favor. Her concern for the surrounding area keeps her from moving freely. On top of that, Arquid does not tire, seeming to have no limits whatsoever. Exceptional as Ciel is, she's already fighting at full capacity. Arquid, on the other hand, is able to expand her powers endlessly. At this rate, she's going to overwhelm Ciel's defenses. The premonition comes to pass before me. A victor emerges. The walls of light that bound Arquid are broken and Ciel is thrown back by some invisible force. Her body flies through the white air and falls to the ground with a thud. Ciel bites through the agony and climbs to her feet, but her resistance is futile. She is launched even higher into the air by another unseeable blast. I hear the sound of flesh ripping and bones breaking as she hits the ground. A pool of red slowly spreads across the brick pavement. But in spite of it all, Ciel still retains her consciousness. She forces her broken body back onto its feet and stares down her enemy. Blue sparks crackle in the air around Arquid as she makes her approach. Her red eyes are firmly fixated on Ciel's neck. My voice does not come out. This is such a good image, too. My brain is not functioning. Oh, but of course not. My brain is not functioning, but so what? Arquid is gonna kill Ciel in cold blood. That's absolutely unacceptable. I can't let her do something so stupid. In a daze, I find my legs moving on their own. I slide in between them, arms spread wide open to protect Ciel. Oh no. In an instant, Arquid returns to normal, the sparks that flew around her disappearing. Is she really so shocked that I would protect Ciel?
なんで？どうしてシキがそいつをかばうの？
なんでも何もない。言っただろ。先輩は俺にとって大事な人だ。いくらお前でもこれ以上先輩に手を挙げたら許さないからな。
I tighten my grip on the knife in my pocket as I glare at Arquid.
そう。そいつと仲良くなってたらどうなるかって私も言ったはずだけど。
Arquid glares back at me with a murderous gaze.
どいて。今ならまだ許してあげる。早くそんな奴をかばうのはやめて。私にそのナイフを向けないで。
Her crimson eyes flicker like a candle's flame. Her bloodlust is no longer aimed at Ciel, but turned towards me instead. My throat and mouth become painfully dry. My instincts warn me that this is my last chance to back off. But even so...
ダメだ。お前が先輩に手を挙げないと言うまでどかない。
聞きたくない。どいてシキ。
お前こそ引けアルクエイド。お前は俺に言ったじゃないか。人間は殺さないって。
ええ、私は人間は殺さない。けど人間の規格を大きく外れた命には敬意を表してる。だから対等の存在として殺すことも厭わないわ。例えばあなたやそこの女みたいな相手
Oh,
にはね。
dang. One step. Arquid takes one step closer. My legs are trembling so fiercely that I think they may fall off on their own. I hold back the urge to run.
そう。あなたはまた私にナイフを向けるんだ。
Another step. Arquid casually closes in on me.
一度目は許した。けれど二度目を許せる自信はないわ。もっともあの時の再現はありえないけど、いくらあなたの直視の目でも今の私から死を読み取ることはできないでしょう。
Oh, right, it's night. She's right. Or she's right in front of me. Her golden eyes bore into mine. Anxiety has frozen not only my heart but every cell in my body. My spine has been ripped clean out. My organs have been turned inside out. This overwhelming sense of despair is beyond anything Vlav could muster. It's as though every part of the universe has turned its hateful gaze onto me. There's nothing I can do. This is what it means to make Arquid your enemy. She is too fundamentally different from living beings to be fought. Attacking her would be meaningless. In order to save Ciel, in order for either of us to have any chance of survival, my only option is to stop her using my words. I'll tell her. Nothing. Saying the wrong thing will only make things worse. Oh my god. Oh my god. Both these options are really bad. No. I'm going to say, I'll hate you if you do this. Actually, no, this won't probably get me killed. No, we'll try this one. A terrible chill pierces the nape of my neck. Arquid is close enough to kill me. She could decapitate me with a single swipe of her arm. Her cold eyes tell me that this is the most likely outcome. Arquid is a vampire. With values so different from ours, it was always impossible for us to coexist. And yet I don't want to accept this outcome.
俺にはわからない。どうして先輩にだけお前はそんなにひどいやつになっちまうんだ。そりゃ何もかもめちゃくちゃなやつだったけど、気に食わないから殺すとかそんなこと口にするやつじゃなかっただろう。
四季。
Arquid stops. Did my pleading get through to her? She seems a little less intense. I might just be able to talk her down.
ダメ。逃げて遠のく。
That's such a cartoonish face in the top left.
先輩。
It happens in an instant. Though she's wounded so badly that she can barely stand, Ciel still gets in front of me.
生命力だけはさすがね。でもそれでどうするの？さっきの大魔術で魔力は空っぽのくせに、今のあなたじゃ四季の盾にもならない。四季が無茶をしている間に逃げればよかったのに。
Are we already on the new? Okay, we are. Okay. I'm gonna go back and see if the other one would actually get her to kill me. I'm just curious about it, right? Alright. I'll hate you! Will this really work? It is how I feel, but I have no idea how she'll respond.
待てアルクエド。いいのか？本当にいいのか？
言ってることがわからない。いいのかって何がよ。
Well,
それ以上進んだらお前のこと嫌いになるからな。
Oh. I don't believe it. That worked. She actually stopped. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyways, you don't have to be Shiki's shield yet.
あなたこそそんな気もないくせに笑わせないでください。私が背中を見せれば喜んでとどめを刺す気だったでしょう。でもおあいにくさまでしたね。私はまだ 戦えます。だって彼を、無関係な人々を守るのは私の役目なんですから。
先輩。
Her breathing is ragged. Her clothes are soaked in blood, and still she puts on a brave front, trying desperately to protect me.
あなたも下がってください。ここは私が。
もう下がるのは先輩の方だ。いいから休んでろ。ここは俺が何とかするから。でもありがとう。大好きです先輩。
Okay. He said daisuki desu. I scramble to put myself in front of Ciel. I must think I'm invincible. I wouldn't even flinch if Arquid glowered at me with those golden eyes again. This is the stupidest thing I've ever done.
待ってください。無理ですから。
Are we really hitting up this music now?
遠野くんじゃアルクエイドに殺されちゃいます。ここを何とかするのは私の方ですよ。
そんな傷で何言ってるんですか。いいから下がって。ほら、ここで意地を張るのは俺の役目です。たまには先輩を守らせてください。
守るってでも。
We grab each other's shoulders and shuffle back and forth, fighting over who gets to stand in front of the other. It's like we're performing a little dance. I don't know what's gotten into us, but it's actually kind of fun. Not fun for everyone, though. A certain onlooker trembles with fury as she watches our friendly bickering.
何よバカ。もういい。式なんて知らない。そんなにシエルが大事なら勝手にすれば。私もう助けてあげないから。
Hey, this might be the best thing.
アルクエイド。
いい、私帰る。
Okay.
言っておくけど、その女はあなたが思っているような真っ当な人間じゃないから。利用されて絞り取られて薄皮一枚にまでなればいいわ。
Are you implying what I think you're implying? Arquid shouts at me angrily and turns away in a huff.
なんだよそれ。お前だってさっき物騒なこと言ってたじゃないか。俺を自分のものにするとかなんとか。
私は隠し事はしないもん。式が好きって言っただけよ。じゃあね、後で私に泣きついても聞いてあげないから。せいぜい血を吸われないよう気をつけることね。
Arquid, still clearly upset, leaps up out of the park like a shooting star darting across the night sky. Oh, there she goes. That was a very silly ending. Even Ciel is shocked. Everything unfolded a little too quickly for me to wrap my head around. Ciel and I look up into the darkness that swallowed Arquid, dumbfounded.
星になってしまいましたね。
Yeah,
彼女。
yeah.
星というよりロケットっぽかったですけど。
Two of us blankly share the first words that come to mind.
そうじゃなくて。なんて無茶をするんですか、遠野くんは。神祖と戦おうとするなんて自殺願望にも程があります。
But it worked. Ciel lectures me with her hands on my shoulders. I don't object, she's absolutely right.
そうでしたね。今でも背中すげえ冷たいです。あいつやるときはほんと用じゃないから。
そこまで分かっていてどうして。
だって先輩を放っておけないし。改めてありがとうございます先輩。俺のために戦ってくれたのぐらいわかります。
はい、お礼を言うなら私もでした。遠野くんがいなかったらどうなっていたかわからなかったです。
Ciel shyly looks down at her feet and notices how stupid it is that she has heels. Neither of us knows what to say. We've gotten very close to one another, though we aren't actually touching. I can feel her body heat tickling my skin.
先ほどは意地を張ってごめんなさい。遠野くんを困らせるつもりじゃなかったんです。
Okay. Freaky Tono's always in a situation.
さっきのってアルクエイドのこと？
そうじゃなくて、お屋敷から公園までのこととか、 昼間の茶道室のこととか。
I'm the one who should be apologizing for all that. But if I do, Ciel will only get even more apologetic. If she says she wants to apologize, I should just listen. Maybe this means we can be friends again. That's all I want. No, I think there's a lot more you want, but we'll leave it at that.
そうですね。じゃあ喧嘩両成敗ってことで仲直りしてください。
そうですか。そんなことでいいなら喜んで。
Her head bowed. Ciel pulls her glasses from somewhere and puts them back on. God, they're so much cuter when they're on.
それより先輩、体は大丈夫ですか？
Take a step back to look over Ciel's body. She was bleeding out on the ground just now, so if we don't take care of that soon,
あれ？
it's gone. The blood that had pooled around her on the pavement, the blood that stained her habit, it's all gone. That's a cute combination. I think your glasses makes you look cute, girl.
遠野くん、これは。
そっか。先輩はあれぐらいの傷なんともないんでしたっけ？ブローブの時なんてもっと深い傷を受けてたし、並大抵のことならあいつみたいにすぐに治って。
I'm such an idiot. Escaping mortal danger made me careless. Careless enough to bring up a subject I'd been unconsciously avoiding until now. She's just like a vampire. After all, she has true immortality. That girl isn't half the decent human being you'd think she is. At least try not to get your blood sucked. Yeah. I pushed those words into the recesses of my subconscious, but seems that my silence has spoken loudly enough.
いや、でもあれだよな。ハルクイドのやつもデタラメなことばっかり言うよな。先輩が俺の血を吸うなんて、そんなこと絶対にありえないのに。
Yeah, there's no way that would happen. Not in a million years. I mean, Ciel walks around during the day. Sure, Arkwood does too, but even she's weaker when it's lights out. When it's light out. That's the opposite. Ciel doesn't change day or night. Besides, she's a member of the church. It's not like they'd hire a vampire to go vampire hunting.
取り繕わないでいいです。私の体のこと、ノエル先生から聞いたんですね。
I can't say the word yes. Not out of consideration for Ciel, but out of my own desire to turn a blind eye to reality.
ノエル先生のおかげで目が覚めました。質問の続きです。どうして私をかばったんですか？アルクエドが本気であなたを殺すつもりだったのは分かっていたはずなのに。
There is no emotion in Ciel's eyes. It's as if they're a doll's eyes, empty and
ど
unseeing.
うしてって。さっきも言ったでしょ。先輩が殺されかけたんです。誰だってかばいます。
自分が殺されるというのに。献身とは自分の命を投げ出すことではありません。自分の命をないがしろにして他者の命を救おうというのは、献身でも犠牲でもなく、ただの自己
Those
愛
are
です。
some big ideas to think about.
あなたはただ自分が後悔したくなかっただけ。それだけであんな真似をして満足しています。はっきり言ってすごく迷惑です。
Ugh.
正しく生きようとするのは立派ですが、あなたの身勝手な正しさに私を巻き込まないでください。
Okay. There's nothing I can say. She's right. I didn't think things through. I was so focused on saving her that the thought of how to deal with Arkwood afterwards never crossed my mind. I never stopped to consider what Ciel wanted. She's got every right to say that, but
それでも先輩を守りたかったんです。それが迷惑だって言うんですか？先輩はあのままアルクエイドに殺されていてもよかったって。
はい、私の命なんですから、あなたにどうこう言われるものではないはずです。いえ、死んだ方がまだマシでした。吸血鬼にお情けで見逃されて生き延びるなんて無様すぎます。
humiliating? She'd rather have died? I can't make any sense of that whatsoever.
自分の命を何だと思ってるんですか、先輩は。死んだらそれまでなんですよ。どんなにひどくてどんなにみっともないことをしてでも生きていられるのなら生きるべきです。だって生きていなくちゃ何もないじゃないですか。無様だから何だって言うんです。どんなに情けなくても何もなくなるよりずっとずっと何倍もいい。俺は先輩を守りたかった。死んでほしくなかった。先輩と一緒にまた茶道室にいたかったんです。
I know I should stay calm, but I can't hold back the swell of emotion in my chest. I'm an idiot. Ciel and I just made up, and here I go yelling at her again.
そうでしたね。あなたは7年前に一度死にかけた人でした。だからそんな単純な考えで満足できるんです。幸せな人。そんな言葉、私には言えません。
Ciel steps away from me, her eyes hollow. Even though I could reach out and touch her, she feels impossibly far away.
アルクエイドが言っていたことは本当です。彼女の言う通り、私は人間とは呼べません。遠野くんも見たでしょ。さっきまであんなにこぼれていた血が、まるでなかったことのように消え去っているのを。
それは。
いいんです。私、化け物なんです。私は吸血種ではありませんが、普通の人間らしい体ではないのも事実ですから。
If only there was a term for someone who's not a vampire and not a mage who has powers or something. If only they came up with one.
何言ってるんですか、先輩。人間らしい体って先輩は十分普通じゃないか。
これでもですか。
先輩。
Oh, oh, we're doing this CG. I didn't think this CG would come back. Yep. I don't have time to stop her. She slits her own throat with one of her swords. I hear a dull scraping as the blade cuts through her flesh and corroded artery. I don't know how to say that word. And a wet splash of vibrant scarlet floods my vision. Dang. Dang! Blood gushes from her neck. It smells of iron, of life itself. The primary color hurts to look at. It's beautiful, threatening to rob me of my sight, my entire consciousness. The fresh blood seeps into her black habit. Beneath that habit, the red liquid that runs over Ciel's pale skin must be growing thicker, like a serpent coiling around her body. Splat. A drop of blood lands on my finger. The sensation snaps me back to reality. Ciel is bleeding out in front of me.
Senpai!
I rush forward, wiping away the blood splattered on me.
慌てる必要はありません。ほら。
She pulls the sword away from her neck. Her wound has already closed. Not only that, all the blood that's spurted out of the wound is disappearing. This is beyond healing, beyond regeneration. This ability is even greater than Vlov's. I'm speechless. I have absolutely nothing to say in response to what I just witnessed.
はい。この通りです。できることなら、遠野くんには知られたくなかったですけど。
Ciel grins bitterly. I still don't know what to say, even when faced with that smile.
だから昼間のことは謝らなくていいんです。全部正しかったんですから。私はあなたのことを騙していました。あんな風に怒られてもそれは仕方のないことなんです。
そんなことは。
Why can't I finish that sentence? No matter what kind of person she is or what kind of body she has, even if it turned out she was a vampire all along, Ciel would still be extremely important to me, so why?
本当はもっと距離を取る予定だったんです。ただの顔見知りとかそれぐらいの。そうすれば あなたの方から話しかけてくることも、こんな風に嫌われることもなかった。けどいいんです。今までのことを後悔はしていません。遠野くんが私との思い出が楽しかったって、守りたかったと言ってくれて嬉しかった。
先輩。
I only said that because those truly were the best of times. I wish they could have gone on forever.
さようなら。
Ciel smiles, gently as always, then disappears before my eyes. She remains Arkwyd's polar opposite to the end. Arkwyd flew away like a shooting star, but I don't even see Ciel's back as she leaves. Inside of my head is churning violently. I couldn't chase after Ciel if I tried. Arkwyd called Ciel a vampire, and Ciel didn't deny it. She even showed me definitive proof of it. She could have lied, yet if I saw right through it, I wish she would have told me it wasn't true. Bye. I don't need to think about what that means. I learned what Ciel really was. I hurt her, and even then she still came to see me. But now that's all over. In a matter of minutes, I lost everything because of one careless remark. My mind isn't working. What is it that I lost? What's causing me this pain? A story some woman called Noel told me? An accusation by Arkwyd? A slit throat that proved it all true? Or is it... What are these flashes? I have a headache. Self-loathing clings to the inside of my lungs like mud. I feel like throwing up. It feels like some invasive plant is growing in my head. It hurts so much that I can't think. I can't cope with the reality of never seeing Arkwyd again. I leave the park, my steps feeble, my memories hazy. What is happening, buddy? I mean, I get it, but also I don't. Like, I get the feeling, but I don't get the electricity. Okay, no panther here. God, it's like we're poisoned in Pokemon, and every few steps we take damage, you know? I'm exhausted. The weed in my... Please, I know what it's saying, but it's still just, after what we talked about. The weed in my brain has grown into a thicket of tangled thorns, creaking and groaning as it tightens around my non-functioning gray matter. I tumble heavily into bed. An ominous darkness creeps closer and closer, looming over my shoulder. Oh no, they both have lines. But the faces that come to mind now are no different from the ones I saw this morning. With that final thought, I close my eyes. All I want is to go to sleep like a brain-dead scarecrow. Please no scene. Please no getting up and reading. I swear to God, buddy. Oh. Okay. No, I understand now. Just that line I dreamed myself from long ago. Nope. I understand. I don't remember if this was a plot thread in the original. I don't remember. I honestly don't. Ro is inside of us now. Ro is inside of us. Okay. I don't remember if that was in the original. For some reason, I thought that, like, I always thought, like, that would be a plot thread, but it never was. In my memories, that's what it was. Maybe I'm wrong, but, nope. That's Roa. He's trying to get out of us, huh? Okay. I'm gonna call it here, because I'm tired, and also, I want to, I feel like it's going to be a lot. I feel like this is going to be a lot. Okay, guys, I will see you next time for some more Let's Play Tsukihime, a piece of Blue Glass Moon, wherein we may learn more about the truth. I don't know. And it's funny because this chapter, Arc-en-Ciel, that's the French word for rainbow. No rainbows here. This was not lovely. I'll see you guys next time for some more. Ciao. Yo.